We can discuss this front part after this is cut.
Yeah, sure. That's alright. So,
I was just telling the hairdressers that it's important that they don't cut any of this length here, because then the join would be compromised.
will you this part?
For now, at the end we can trim it.
Sure. So this is 19.
Yeah, that's one.
Okay. We'll start with that. If you want to go shorter,
Okay.
you can do it.
And I don't really want the shaved here.
Sure. You just want it natural.
Yeah, natural.
No.
See, just like that.
What is this length? Is this 1800?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will cut it.
You will cut it with scissors. He's just
Yeah,
showing you how short it is going.
Oh, but this is different length to this.
He's gonna do it. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. He's gonna do it. He's just showing you.
Yeah.
I'm just showing you.
Okay. I try to do this myself at home, but it's always patchy. I can never do it by myself. It seems easy, but
It seems easy, but from back side, you can do, hands are not
Yeah.
designed that, that
Yeah.
you can use the clippers on that.
I need some sort of vacuum machine
Yeah.
to suck the hair.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just pushes it down.
Yeah.
So some is up like this, and others are down like this, and it doesn't work.
You can do it in the sides, but
Yeah.
the back side is really, tough.
Yeah, contour. Show me. I think it's important to continue this length around the curvature to here. Don't stop here and then woof. Should be around.
Yeah, he's just showing if the length is okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And but continue.
Yeah. He'll blend them in. He'll blend them in. Don't worry.
Because the I think this part here will be the longer. You graduate. Okay. I like the length. It's a good length.
It's not this hot as Australia. Right?
You lived in a place where it went to 47.
Yeah, but because we have very good ozone layer to block the direct rays.
UV rays.
Yeah, so it doesn't get this hot. Even at 47, it doesn't feel like this much.
47 doesn't feel like this.
Yeah, because even if it was 41 few days back, right? Few days back it was 41, and it was 41 felt like like hell. Like it's just we are living in the hell.
It's good you have air conditioning in here.
Yeah.
Just come in. I got it.
Go around the back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Okay. What do you know about that?
My battery. Cool. Okay, so the problem with this is my hairpiece is the glue is lifting here. See?
Yeah.
So we have to be careful
Sure.
because in the hot weather
Yeah.
the glue is melting.
Yeah. Sure.
So when we cut it, you're going to be lifting it, and so this will pull on it. See? So you just have to make sure you
Sure.
don't pull too much.
So I guess the blending has been done. You
Oh, the
wanna
blend is already done?
Yeah, blend is mostly done. If you want to check, he'll comb your hair nicely, and he will show you.
Okay.
Yeah, ऐसा comb करीने बताइए.
In cold weather, the glue is effective, but in hot weather, it melts.
Nice, yeah.
I need to find a better glue.
How do you usually keep it like?
I usually don't have a back because I can never trust this to be clean because there's glue and everything. So I usually tussle it. When I get home, I can maybe cut it myself because I have to change it every 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Just come in.
If you see, the blending has been done. It looks nice.
So the back and sides are
Yeah,
much
yeah.
better?
Yeah.
Nice. Because I have very buffy hair.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you did that. Thank you.
So it looks blended if you want to see from back.
Okay. That's good. I'm just checking out my bald spot on the back here. Yeah, it seems good. Thank you. And how long have I got before this turns into a puddle of skin? This spot here.
This part here, yeah.
Balding.
Yeah, it's balding. So you use the correct shampoo and all? The doctor must have suggested you something, the nice shampoo, because the hairs are pretty good. Do they fall? Do they fall when you know?
I don't see them fall out.
Yeah. So it looks pretty nice to me. I think it looks to go for a year.
A year?
Yeah, maybe.
I've got 1 year left.
Doesn't look that bad. It has something in your. I think it's the skin, but this part doesn't look that bad.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
If they are not falling out, and you're saying.
When my hair is longer and dry,
Yeah.
you can't see it.
Yeah. Because that's why it doesn't look like you are going, getting bald.
You don't think it's going bald there?
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it right now.
Maybe I've got another 10 years.
Yeah.
Right. When that goes, I might shave my head.
Yeah.
But I don't. It doesn't suit me to shave my head
Yeah, do you try?
because, yeah, I've tried. I look like the retarded monkey from War of the Worlds. But it is possible to wear a hairpiece all over this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I think her son.
it's just a lot more effort. You need a special mirror set up so you can see the back of your head and everything. I mean, that mirror there could potentially be attached to a microphone stand or something.
Yeah. Well, you can put, if you have a handy cam, you can put it at the back,
Yeah.
and you can use a laptop.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Many people do that.
Really?
Who cut their own hair.
Really?
They tend to do that. They put a handy cam over
Do
there. They can get a live feed in the laptop.
Yeah,
and
right.
it's-
Is everything backwards?
Yeah. No, not that. They can see the same. You can change the settings in the handy cam.
Yeah, that's
also.
true.
Yeah, yes, it's good. Can you use it?
Muck.
Yeah, no.
That's what I like it. I think the hairstyle that best suits me is when it sort of comes down, like sort of like
Okay.
curtains a little bit.
Yeah.
But I usually just brush it back for a while, and then after it dries.
Because after because you have the cream, the hair are pretty dense.
Yeah.
The volume. So if you wanna wait, like when the hair gets dry or something
Yeah.
like that, then I think it will be more good.
Is that a good idea to brush it back and just wait, and then push it forward
Yeah,
with
then
some
push it
muck?
forward when muck won't do, and it could because the length is too high. So what exactly you wanna do? You wanna cross them like this, like that?
No, just like yours. I like yours.
Like mine.
Yeah, but usually mine has more product. Do you have product in your hair?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, look now.
Yeah, I have one now.
Oh, it looks clean. Muck
Yeah.
usually makes it look dirty. Maybe I put too much.
No, I think maybe if you put too much and your hair are too oily or bit.
Because you can't tell that you've got any hair product.
Yeah, I use muck. I use a purple.
You have muck?
Yeah, he's also used.
I like muck.
You can use muck just a little bit, tiny bit, and you can only use it in dry hair. If you put in wet hair, it won't do much.
Yeah. The problem is because of the hairpiece. Sometimes if I have muck in my hair. Yeah, that's good for now. Thank you.
No worries. Okay.
To give you an indication of how hot it is, the glue from this tape forced this microphone to fall off the guitar, which was taped on so I could sing while I'm playing. And then this LED light, which was held on with Velcro here. The back of Velcro, of course, has to have glue on the back of sticky tape to hold it up, but that's peeled off in the heat, and it's just the light's just fallen off. So now the hairpiece I was wearing at the hairdresser's earlier, it was lace, but underneath the glue when I took it off, it did have kind of a puddle of sweat in there. I wasn't exposed to the air very long. I went from an air-conditioned house basically to an air-conditioned hairdresser, but inside the car it burned my legs to touch the chair, it burned my hands to touch the steering wheel. I don't think I'll get blisters, but it's on the verge of that sort of temperature. 33 degrees outside. I didn't know that 33 degrees was this hot. In this room right now it's a sauna. So I've pre-glued the back part of my head, so I'll be putting back on this, now it's 6 weeks old because I wore lace for a week, but I'm not going to be putting the lace back on because it wasn't quite long enough. It fell short of the hairline that I want, and I can't really be bothered cutting another lace piece, and the paranoia from the glue being exposed and the maintenance and everything that I had to deal with makes me think I'm going to go back to poly, despite the fact that bigger puddles of sweat will develop underneath that, and heat. Sweat forms underneath the glue when I use lace anyway, so I'd rather it was hidden. And despite the fact that lace does look better on day one, if you're in a winter environment, it's fine in winter, but in summertime, the glue through lace is going to shine through, unless you've got a different type of glue maybe, and I've got to pick away at the front hairline constantly. And also with the threat of the glue melting all the way through underneath the lace, any pressure or any kind of hairs would get stuck into it, because it's like you've just got fresh glue when it's melted, right? The reason it hardens and dries is because, well, one, it's exposed to air, but secondly, it's, well, when it gets hot, it's the same as being in a bottle. So it's like you've just basically put glue on your head, then put the lace on directly without waiting for it to dry. That's what it's like when you get over about 25 degrees. So it's about 33 degrees outside. In this room here, there's no air conditioning coming through. I'd say it's about 45 degrees Celsius. Could be 40, I don't know, but it's very sweaty and hot in here. So before I put that hairpiece on again, I'm gonna just go stand with my head in front of the air conditioner for a while. Hey guys, so I got a haircut, $25 from the Indians. I'm not sure how bad this bald patch is. They've made me worried about it now. I mean, I know it's somewhat there, but with this length hair, is that even more visible? Because I don't want to have to end up with a full hairpiece. That would suck. So the lace, in this 33 degree heat today, when I peeled it back, had some sweat underneath the glue. That's ultra hold. Obviously, heat can vent out through the lace a lot more than it can through this poly. So with poly, it'll be a lot more sweaty, but nobody can see that. And yes, it's weaker when it's wet. I mean, it's like a moisture bubble, which the Max Hold Sport and No Sweat don't really seem to stop from happening. I didn't spray deodorant on this time, or sorry, you know, whatever it's called, antiperspirant deodorant, which is probably the same thing, probably not specifically designed for hairpieces, but I've never found those things to really work. They should, really. But if you put deodorant on your armpits and then just cover it with glue or plastic, you think no sweat's going to be there after 3 weeks? Well, a lot of bacteria seem to gather in there, but I don't think that happens here. My hairpiece never smells like an armpit, let's say that. But I'd still say you've got to change your hairpiece more often in summer. And the great thing about this is it just peels right off and I put it back on afterwards, no problem. Poly's really easy to maintain. Getting this glue off this lace, I'm not going to bother. It's too much trouble, pain in the ass. Even peeling it off and stuff, it's going to be pulling hairs out and lowering the density of the hairs. So let's just have a look at this haircut. They didn't touch the length of this at all in the haircut, so it's somewhat irrelevant. But I figured that haircut is a little bit similar to this poly haircut, because I was kind of trying to duplicate it a bit when I made it. So the glue's been placed first of all there, and then I put the poly on, and then I glued the front section of the poly, which is the way to do it. It's the neatest way. And of course, when the poly lands now on my forehead, it'll be exactly glued all the way to the front. There's no real reason that should be glued to my forehead. I cleaned, well, I thought I'd cleaned all the glue off from the last one, from the lace. So it's cooled down now, it's night time now. Now just so we don't have to go through that whole process of you not being able to see the hair when it's dry, I'm going to just put muck in my hair with a little bit of water, just so it's not ripping back at this hairpiece. And then I'll brush it a bit. So I guess it does need to be a little bit wet for styling purposes. The thing I found that works best with styling is that muck. Brushing it straight back and leaving it there for a while gives the hair the straightness it needs in my case. Well, this is wavy, it's not curly, like my natural hair is curly. But still, it allows me to get better control in styling it after it dries. So I'd start with it back, like this, and now while it is back, I guess you guys want to see the hairline up close. Just give me a sec. I must say I'm relieved that I did go to the hairdresser to get that buff taken off, because even with the clippers I can't really do it on my own neatly, because even though it seems like it should be exactly the right length with the guard on, one of those plastic attachments on the ear trimmer, it seems to be, I dig in deeper sometimes to make it a shallow cut, and other times it's protruding because it must be the angle of my hand or something. I'm doing this or something. I've tried to go over it 1,000,000 times and I can still never get it as good as a hairdresser gets it. And they can also shave the back of my neck. It does feel irritated here since they shaved it. I was thinking maybe saying, please don't shave it. But I'm not sure if that's because of it was with clippers, electric clippers. It wasn't with razor blade. But even so, it's already feeling irritated. And that could be because I'm allergic to my own hair. It's like, you know, when your hair's in your shirt and stuff after you've been for a haircut. Okay, so there's no comparison between the lace hairline and the poly hairline. The lace is vastly superior to this, but only for the first day. One major thing is, I think the haircut looks better. I've got big, buffy, wiry hair, and now I'm older. I'm over 40, I'm 41, and the greys on the side protrude out like that. And there's nothing I can really do to stop the greys from wiring out. It's not just when they're grey, even before they go grey, because I'm older, the hairs become less manageable. Now you can use chemical straightening or chemical perming. I can't remember what it's called. It's like not keratin. It's more than keratin. It's like I don't know what it's called. It's some chemical, some harsh poison that they put in your hair. Now, I thought I glued that pretty strong there. I'll just press it down for a bit. I did clean my scalp with alcohol and everything else, not with Dawn dishwashing soap as you see on some websites. So importantly, like I've said before, I can't remember what I was going to say. Don't take sleeping tablets if you want to give a presentation on the video the next day, first of all, because it makes you scattered a bit. I've been very lethargic today from waking up after taking those sleeping tablets. But you know what they did allow me to do? I eat all night long, only at night basically. The rest of the day I just have drinks. That's how I eat, with my eating behaviour. So if I take sleeping tablets before I get hungry, then I miss out on eating for that day. And yesterday I spent 3 hours on the orbital, on the, ski stocks with the feet moving back and forward, because I was playing the game of Risk on my iPad. Admittedly, to get me through that, I've had to buy a 1 litre bottle of Johnny Walker. So I just have cans of Diet or Coke Zero, and then I just pour it in, get to a bit of Coke out and pour some of that in, and I just get drunk on the orbital. Sounds lonely, but exercise is a lonely thing. And I'll tell you what, having my friend Johnny there to keep me company, it's better than doing it by myself. Plus I got all these enemies I get to fucking kill while I'm doing it, so that's good. Plus I got the movie, whatever it is, like at the moment it's Justice League. So they've just resurrected Superman. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's been out for long enough. He was dead. The join back here is a lot better than what I had going on the lace. And with this low density, medium light density, it's hard to get that join to be without fault. And I'll just leave that on like that for the rest of the presentation. I don't really know how the Amish speak. Is that an Amish beard? Okay, maybe I'll try it up here. My new mustache. And the thing is, when I was on stage and wearing wigs and different hair pieces and beards and things, they had no idea about the different types of glue that you could get. And top lip is often where they glue it for a mustache or something for a character you're playing. So it's a lot better, this stuff, or any of the glues we talk about, than what they use on stage, because they're unaware of this whole industry. Most people are, I'd say. There's something weird that the Indians did. They shaved a big archway over both of my ears. Tell me if that's a bit weird. Do you think it's weird? Look at that one. They've actually gone to 0 there. What the hell did they do that for? That seems like an idiot hairdressing move to me. So this is good timing, because despite my lethargy today, sorry for those people who are mouth readers. By the way, transcripts are automatically made so long as I speak clearly for YouTube's detection algorithms to work. But it doesn't always come up exact, right? If you're deaf and you're trying to make out why I said the spider on Mars ate bananas and then crucified Darth Vader, it's not my fault. I didn't make it. It's YouTube's algorithms. But you can go in. I think if you're a follower or something, whatever, and you can just go and edit that to make me say, Darth Vader shits all over, blah, blah, blah. So I am a loser and I have a stupid head. Whatever you want me to say. You can change it. Please say the right thing for the deaf. Or at least make it funny. Funnier. If I say a joke that almost works and I don't quite nail it, fix it. So they'll think I'm really good. You don't have to. That's a bit... I'm not going to pay you. But I'm not making any money, so there you go. Okay, that's a good length now, I reckon. What will happen now with the heat over the next few months, 2 months or so, is that it'll continue to cause a lot of sweat under there, and this will continue to be loose and weak. That bit at the front is particularly weak, so I'm going to just add a bit more glue to that. First of all, I add some, just to see how it goes over the next half an hour or whatever. I'm going to go back to my game, my alcohol. Yeah, so I'm going on a date later this week from Tinder or Bumble or Happen or one of those things. And I haven't been on a date for a long time. And now I don't feel so self-conscious about my hair being all shit because I reckon this is a good length. It's a good combination of short back and sides with a bald patch and eyebrow length hair at the front. Because I thought when you get it this short, you have to what's the best thing there? You'd have to really choose. I can't remember what I'm fucking talking about. Sorry, broke my promise. Wasn't a promise, didn't say promise. Besides, if I had said I promise, I would have been doing this behind my back and you couldn't prove otherwise. Or my toes were crossed or something. So apart from this stupid fucking archway they decided to put on my ear, which I don't think is the same on this side, is it? Do you think he was just answering somebody's question when he did that? One time I went into a lady and says, I just want to trim around the back, please, just shave the back of my neck or something. And she was on the phone, and she started grabbing my hair, and I said, whoa, what are you doing? And she went, and anyway, on Thursday, it was like, cut off my fringe. And it was my natural fringe. That was the last time, basically, I think I ever had my natural hair at the front. I needed that hair at the front to create the curtains to cover the bald patches as one of those things you do before you discover that you can buy hair and stick it to your head. Because people would be going, he's trying too hard, he's trying to look younger than he actually is. Because people know that you're doing a comb over. Just looking at where this comes down to, maybe this one's a bit too high up as well, but at least the join is better. With the lace piece here, because it's so low density around there, the join was a lot more visible and I was a bit paranoid about that. The good thing about lace is that hairs come up together and can be pressed right back against the hairline, whereas with poly, there's a clear plastic separation between where the hairpiece begins and where the natural hairs start. So you've got to make sure that's all fluffed in, right? Overhang can be a problem just as a gap can be a problem. So this hair is short, but the hair at the front is still long. So I may have to end up cutting this, but I do like having a fringe to play with. The one good thing about having short back and sides and even a short front is that it's low maintenance. You can get out of bed and then it's kind of just, even though it might be messy, it's not causing a massive amount of problems. So with poly, the hairline here, this is a 5-week-old piece. I had the other piece on for a week, so I wore this one for 4 weeks, I think, and then I took it off, and now this is the 5th week. So it's 4 weeks old, and then now this is the 5th week. So gradually, hairs do come out along the front. It seems worse with lace, actually. Or it was worse with the poly in the beginning, with the V-lips not being strong, but it was just the first batch that I purchased. The V-lips have been strong in this entire batch, which is 2 hairpieces. 3 hairpieces which I've cut into 18 mini hairpieces, front partials, which is all I need because my baldness is like that. And so I shaved all that off and then just put this on, right? And there's a bit of plastic shine in all poly units. This is 0.03mm, very thin skin. To show you the resistance with the comb. There's something happening over here in this corner, which is ugly, but I don't know what causes that to be so congealed, like so dirty there. It's almost like there's glue on the top of the hairpiece that's got dirt stuck to it or something. But I'm going to cut that out anyway. I'll show you how that happens. So we're going to try and match this up a bit. I don't want to cut any of my natural hairs either. Just going to do the tiniest little bit here. See how tiny that piece is that I just cut out and how much, well, from my perspective it looks like it's bending up a lot more. There's a lot of mess over here happening. There's some glue maybe in the my natural hairs. It's alcohol spray. So I started editing this video for you because of the hairdressing and everything. That's the first part of this video. And about an hour into cutting it, I realized that the audio was not in sync. It's because you film on an iPhone, you put it into Premiere, and then the audio and the video is misaligned. So you've got to either do it all manually, which is a pain in the ass. It's really only 3 separate videos. I could have just gone drag. But instead I'm going back and I've removed all the work I've done. It's being processed by Handbrake to, I don't know what happens, make it into a file that Premiere doesn't have any problems with. .mov files from iPhones, that's no good for Premiere. So it's getting made into MKV files through Handbrake. They're being converted. Hopefully that doesn't result in a massive loss of resolution or quality. So I'm just not sure exactly what this disgusting blobby looking dark patch is over here. So I'm just going to see quickly if that lines up to about the same height as over here. Now this one is considerably higher than this side, so I'm going to just, I prefer the kind of graduation there on that side. Not graduation, contour. So I'm just going to try to take this tiniest sliver off. Can you see how thin the sliver is that I'm cutting out here? Because I anticipate that there'll be hairs that have sort of been left when I cut it, often what happens is the plastic. So what just happened is I just pulled off this excess hair that was cut but didn't fall out right with that. So just those bits out there. And now I may have to go back in here and clean that up a bit. That's, it feels like it's gone up too high there a bit. But that comes down a bit there, so I might be on point. You've got to be very conservative when cutting those tiny little front bits off. So still left with a bit of a darkish kind of patch over here. It's not noticeable when the hair's down, but if the hairline is ever exposed or brushed back, you can see it. And also, because this has never seen or hasn't seen sunlight for a long time, looks a bit pale compared to the rest of my face. But I think most of it's lined up without any gaps or overhang of the rest of it there. So I haven't decided yet if I'll cut this shorter to match the rest of my haircut. I might have to, but at the moment I like the availability of being able to style a little bit better. But see, when I first bleached this, I bleached it in about 1 centimeter deep, so it gives me a little bit of leeway to cut off some of the excess at the front. But here I think the bleaching ends about that depth, and then this bit here in the corner remains unbleached. I think also I've gone up too high, so I'm getting a bit of a wall of hair effect. And this blobby bit over here in the corner is a big black splodgy bit as well. So yeah, I've got a date from the internet coming on, not coming, I've got to go out and see it at a pub later on this week. So before then, it looks like I'm probably going to have to change hair pieces because this one's a bit got glue in there or something. Yeah, you see that? It's like there are hardly any hairs left on that corner. It's really thinned out and become a disgusting mess. Doing this now is probably going to be the end of it, and I'm probably going to have to put in a new hairpiece because that's kind of make it really disgusting and too high. And I just tore it here because I just pulled on it too much. I just pulled on it while it was stuck down and basically fucked it up. But that is not enough hairs coming out of that patch, see? Because they've been brushed away over time, because the edge ones are more vulnerable too. The only thing that could possibly solve this now is stretching it. So you can see the condition of the cut of the hairpiece there now. Let's see if I can stretch it into a good spot. The problem is, because the alcohol is going to take about 10 minutes now to dry, because it will have no exposure to air, it won't stretch and stay. So unless I sit there and hold it in position for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Wait, it feels like it's starting to stick. Wait. Still going to have a similar problem to what I had just a second ago, but it seems to look a bit better straight away. But that is a bit high, isn't it? It's a really peaky. Yeah, it's staying. I guess I can feel it beginning to dry. So I think what's happened here is I've gone way too peaky with that. Way too much up. Should be there. Because then the next time she sees me, if she ever sees me on a second date, or other people see me, people have seen me before, I will have balded considerably since they saw me. Something else to note about hair pieces is they don't, whereas normal hair might do what you tell it to, hair pieces tend to want to stick up. So you've got to use hair product to sort of make them obey you more. Given that I've had sleeping tablets and I just can't be bothered doing this again, I'll just put some muck in it to see if I can get it to look alright. Yeah, it didn't take 10 minutes to stick on that edge. It might have taken 10 minutes in the middle, but not on the edge. Probably also because I was doing this a bit, so they gave it 30 seconds to dry a bit before I pressed it down. Put the lid back on the muck. So I've got rid of most of these annoying things that were sticking out the side here with my greys, because as you get older your grey hairs fray out. Even before they go grey, you've got an old dog's hair, right? There are chunks of hair missing along the front here too now. This is not a problem if you've got your hair brushed forward. What do you think of the contour of that? It's just a bit like a wall of hair at the moment to me. Maybe that's because lace looks so effective compared to this. And this bit on the edge, see, it doesn't quite meet up. See? I ripped it to pieces. And also, see that plastic there on the front? Let's experiment for a second with, you see how it's remaining shiny? Can you see that? Try and press on the screen to get the focus into that spot. I'm not sure what the distance is of an iPhone, that has to be. See the shiny bits there? I'm going to put this shine killer on those spots. Put it back on. Now, can you see it? Trying to make it focus. Touching the screen. Okay, so it's a lot better. I think a lot of that, see now? I think a lot of the visibility of the poly, when it's got no hair on it, comes from its shininess. So if you can dull that shine with some shine killer, it'll be improved. I'm sure you only have to use it once a day. And you can see how much I use. Hardly anything that's been going for over a year. I didn't use it all the time though, because I wasn't using fully for a year. But still, I'm going to try and buy some more when that runs out. Definitely useful to have in your kit. It's crazy what they did there, isn't it? That's really much better to have short sides. That won't take that many. Take about a week to grow that back though. Which is my ear arch. Very strange. Okay, so with the brush back look, you know I'm honest, right? I'll look in the mirror now and I'll tell you the truth. That's standing out to me. Look in the mirror. I can see this the whole time. The rest of it, does it look artificial? Yeah, a little bit because of this there. Now does it look artificial? Just because I did that and that, now it doesn't. The hairline doesn't look fake either. At this distance in the mirror, my eyesight's fairly good. I mean, I'm having a problem reading sometimes because of the focus, but it's not bad. So a brush back look with these bits fluffed down makes it look a lot more realistic with the exposed hairline. And I know you guys love jacking yourselves off over fucking hairlines because that's when you give me the best comments and likes. Looks really good, man. Like, I look shit, but the hairline looks fine because that's all you care about. I understand. But I think this haircut suits me a lot better. And probably still would be scared. No, at the moment I don't think I'd be scared of even going on a date with my hair brushed back like that. I'll probably choose not to, just in case I start getting paranoid about her going like this. Yeah, it's nice to meet you too. Looking up at my fucking hairline for some reason. Sometimes she's not thinking anything, she's just looking at my hair. Because her mother wants her to meet a man with nice hair or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway, if she only cares about your hair, she's not the right woman. That's true. I wouldn't probably want a girl who just cared about hair. But I still want a chance to impress her with my personality if I have one. And to get my foot in the door at all, I need to at least look okay, right? So I'll probably end up doing something like that, holding it down for a while. Hopefully it'll settle nicely or something. I think if I just put water in it, the water will weigh it down, this thing that's sticking up here, and it'll just eventually just want to hopefully just stay. And if I'm really worried if we're going to go in the wind or something, I could add some hairspray to that. It's a very different look to have puppy dog flat hair like this, fluffed down, rather than bolt upright and gelled back. Two completely different people almost, right? I'm the sort of guy that is less cool maybe, but I'm allowed to hold people's babies. And the other guy is more like, get up on stage, they're waiting for you at the microphone. I don't know. It seems that people with gelled back hair and stuff like that are more like business tycoons or models or something. or in the mafia maybe. Whereas people like this are more down to earth looking, I think. So it's in your best interests to have a fringe like this anyway, probably, rather than having the brush back look. And if you were once completely bald and people know, then what? Aren't you better off pretending it's a comb over, a really good comb over? I'd say the answer to that is probably yes. But then again, you can choose once you've got a full head of hair, if you can get a good enough hairline. And I can tell you right now, I'm so happy that I've got rid of this lace piece. While it looked realistic on day one, the maintenance was getting annoying straight away like I thought it would. And the sweat was still happening underneath the glue. Not as much as it will happen with this, but nobody will be able to see this. Yes, it will weaken the bond and the glue will be melted and the sweat will be a problem until the night comes, and then it'll eventually cool down and maybe the sweat will reabsorb into my skin, something like that. But yeah, I'm very pleased that I have this puffy shit all over the place. Probably not so pleased about the balding. They said, you've got about a year left, don't worry. It's like, what, I've got a year? A year remaining before that bit is patched out? He said, I don't know, right? He didn't say, I don't know. He said, I don't know. I said, so maybe 10 years then? Yeah, maybe 10 years, right? He didn't know. Either way, 1 year, 10 years, it's the same. He didn't get it. I think it's a responsibility for barbers, hairdressers, to know about baldness. Like, why aren't they selling this shit, right? They're the ones who can make the most money out of this. I'll try and get a distribution deal or something maybe eventually with all these different barbers. A lot of door knocking and fucking deals and stuff. Give them some samples or something. Yeah, play with this. No, I'll give them some good samples. I do good deal for you. Gotta make some money out of this, right? On my disability.